Kia ora, Charlotte here. So what were you up to when you were 23? I asked Noel Baigent this question. I know him as Budgie, and this is what he had to say.
G'day there, my name's Noel Baigent, and my nickname, if you don't know, is Budgie, and I live in Pōhara, and I actually grew up in Central Tākega, went to Central Tākega School. When I turned 16, I just turned 16, I left to join the Air Force, and so I went on and I had 2 or 3 contracts with the Air Force, but when it was time to retire I couldn't think of a better place, so I came back to Golden Bay, and I've been back here for nigh on 15 years, and it's a great place and a great community. It's good to be home. So what was I doing at 23? Well, life was quite different for sure. If I take myself back to 1974, I was in the Air Force, and I was actually working in Wellington as a logistics officer, and I was living at a place called Shelley Bay, which now is Peter Jackson's recently bought that. It's a nice waterfront property in Wellington Harbour, and that's where I lived. Probably, well, I was just a roadway away from the sea, so great place to live. And I worked in town, in the city in Wellington, and where I worked was actually a place called Bunny Street. If you were arriving at Wellington train station and getting off the train and you walked out the door, straight ahead of you is now McDonald's, and that McDonald's is where the doorway was to my place of work when I was 23. And what I was doing there was I was basically buying parts for our 730 Hercules aircraft and our Orion surveillance aircraft. So that was my job there. It was kind of really an 8 to 5 job, but being 23, single, having a ball, yeah, it was kind of party central in a way. We had lots of sports, we had lots of fun, we had lots of late evenings, and I met my wife-to-be at that time. She lived at the Air Force ladies accommodation, which was probably about 5 to 7k around a place called Wellington Bay. So my physical training in the mornings to do my fitness would sometimes take in a run to Wellington Bay, or vice versa. So yeah, it was a pretty interesting time. It was a fun time as a single young fella at 23.
So throughout his career in the Air Force, Noel went on to visit over 40 countries. So why 23? Well, coming up soon on the 23rd of September, I'll be launching a 1-year memoir writing program for those of you in Golden Bay. Beginner writers are welcome, or more experienced writers as well, who are interested in going through a process of writing your memoir, life story, family history, or just history of something as part of a group. Got a lovely group of people on board. If you're interested to know more about the program, just click on the link below. And stay tuned, because over the final week before this program, I have several more really interesting 23 videos coming up from some locals you might know.